Hi guys, welcome back to Midnight Blues and Other Musings, and we have some very, very, very special surprise guests for us to help us discuss the Nebelhorn Trophy. So why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hi guys, it's Sarah, or on Twitter known as @CostaWarrior here.
Hi guys, I'm LJ, known as @CircularTwizzle on Twitter. Very excited to be here.
I know. So, I mean, obviously very big event. There's Olympic spots on the line. You know, people went in with some high expectations for themselves. So to break it down, and also most importantly, the countries for the team event have been figured out, which is most importantly, France did not make the team event. So that means that Gabby and Guillaume can't do their programs before.
They're jumping for joy right now. They're thrilled.
They're very happy about
They're very happy that they don't have to decide not to do it.
They actually sabotaged the pairs event to make sure that didn't happen. They did something. All right. So let's start with ladies, which I feel like the most hype was around. You had kind of the US ladies third spot was up in the air. What did you guys think?
I was very happy for Alyssa. I think she did exactly what we expected to do. She's been going out and training a lot, and I think she's been performing really well. They've had her performing a lot this summer. So I wasn't surprised that she won this event. I think that she was slated to do it. And, I think at this point, she is the number one senior US lady. And I feel very strongly that she is going to make the Olympic team and probably win nationals.
Yeah, I agree. It was very nice to see Alyssa win. I will say one thing I kind of noticed, especially in her free, she seems to be going back to her old jump technique a little bit. I don't know if this is just me or if anyone else felt the same way.
No, yeah, I agree.
Like she's rotating quickly. She doesn't have much speed coming out on the landings. But I mean, beyond that, she was great. I love her. So happy that they are able to get this gold medal under their belt.
Yeah. I really am not a huge fan of her costumes though, which not to be, both of them. I mean, not to be so materialistic, but she's just had much better costumes. And I know that Lisa McKinnon, they're spending the money on her, but I'm like, can you get her new costumes for the Olympics? Because I think I actually prefer the one arm costume to the free. I don't like the cut of the free on her. I don't know why, but yeah. And I really like her ponytail in the short because I think we need to have ponytail rights and more lady skaters need to skate with their hair in ponies. I'm kind of sick of seeing everyone in the tight buns that all the Russian girls do.
So I am someone who, when I work out, I can't do it in a ponytail. It has to be a bun. It has to be pulled tight. So I am here representing the skaters that skate in buns because I'm going to practice and I have it slicked back like I'm in the military, all up and down. No, but I agree, the one arm costume. And I know that we disagreed about this, LJ, the one arm costumes.
Yes, I love one arm costumes. I don't know if it's just from my childhood. I always wanted.
No, I support you.
I could never wear them. So now I'm just yes, wear them. Go for it. I love it.
I'm with you. I am team one arm.
I can't. I've never seen I've never seen a one arm costume that was cute. But there's something the one arm adds that two arms would not also add.
Excuse you, justice for Ashley Wagner's Sweet Dreams short dance costume.
I hated that costume.
Are you kidding me? That was no. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
That was not a good costume. It was
you're wrong.
It was blue. It would remind me of Yulia's Olympic short program costume a little too much.
No, I love that costume, but that's okay. We can all have wrong opinions.
But no, I was thinking today. Can you guys believe that a year ago we were like, is Alyssa even going to be skating in a year? And now Alyssa is preemptively the number one senior lady. It really goes to show how much can change in a year, I think.
Yeah. I will say, I feel like we're not the ones.
Yeah,
we're not the ones who were worried about her, but some people out there
I was worried. I was like, Alyssa, what are you doing? That's Skate America X. I was like,
I wasn't concerned because first of all, I think the COVID season was the best season for her to have her growth spurt during and recover from an injury because it was a fake season. Like nothing that happened last season is real to me except having to deal with like the fallout of the Russians. I didn't want to win worlds winning worlds, but like I always felt like Alyssa was going to be okay, and especially when she showed up to nationals and she looked so much better than she did in the fall, I was like, she's going to be fine. Like Massimo and Jeremy are doing really good work with her. So it's only people like Dave Lees who like to, say one thing and then when the narrative switches act as if he never said anything else to begin with. So like he looks like a clown because he thought that her career was over, but now
I'm
he
just
likes
a worrier. Like I worry too much.
No, I wasn't worried.
I feel that. Like I was a little bit worried at the what was it called, the ISP selection points, whatever the virtual competition that the US Federation did. That did not look great. But nationals was amazing, even without any even attempt or whisper of the triple axel. I don't think it was necessary. And like you said, Massimo and Jeremy are doing an amazing job. I do feel like training in Italy is good for them. To have Lorenzo added to the team now, I'm not sure what that means for the training situation moving forward. I assume Alyssa will still be returning to the US at some point.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have school anymore.
She's not in school anymore?
No.
Yeah. They graduated.
15. Which as someone who has experience with homeschooling, I have no idea how that is like worked out. But
Did she skip a bunch of grades? Like is she like Mensa levels of intelligence?
She worked through the summer. That's what I assume. But yeah.
Alyssa, they're already planning to apply to college.
Alyssa graduated college high school. She's actually like Dr. Doogie Hauser.
Surprise.
Wow, good for her. I had no idea.
No, they graduated high school at 15. And I was like, okay, like I'm like, if all skaters do this, it explains a lot. If they all graduate high school at like 14, 15, I'm like, it all makes sense.
Well, to be fair, she was never in like actual classes, right? So.
Well, it was all homeschooling, but if they all do homeschool and they all graduate at 15-ish.
Well, that's what people love to say about Meryl and Charlie, right? Is that they've been better off adjusting than a lot of people because they actually went to high school with other people.
Yeah, and they went to college and they lived with their families were close by. They weren't sent away to another country, as little children with just each other. So
yeah. Speak of the devils.
yeah. But well, congratulations to Alyssa on graduating, and I hope all their training is going really well. So yeah. Happy for them. But what did you guys think of Katya's programs? Because I don't know if this was her debut, if she had done any other summer competitions. I hadn't seen them, but
she had.
Once again, Benoit strikes again. I do not like the choreography in these programs. I don't like the music in these programs. I felt like in her free skate, I was like, are you channeling like Jenna from Waitress right now with this like costume? Are you going through like the 7 stages of like having a shitty husband, finding out you're pregnant, falling in love with the doctor, and now you've decided like you found yourself, you don't need a man? Like what is going on? I don't understand what she's skating to. Why does she have to do so many like bestie squats? Like what are we doing?
I felt like the program was very like old women-ish, and like Katya's like a teenager, like she doesn't need to be burdened with this like heavy dark music about like with like this like woman who's like lived this horrible life, and like you can
what was the program about?
It's Charlie Chaplin. It's Charlie Chaplin.
What?
This is why I'm cracking up that you were talking about Waitress, because I personally think it's actually not a bad program, and it's recycled from last season, so she's comfortable with it. I think that style of dress is one she likes because she had a similar thing with her former Lugian Rose.
the pink one that cinches it at the waist.
I think she likes that style.
Did she skate this at Worlds and I just like didn't see it?
She did.
I guess, yeah.
Did she go to
program last year? It's recycled.
She did go to Worlds. Yes, she didn't qualify.
Okay, so that's why I hadn't seen it, because I didn't see any of her competitions last season then.
Yeah, so that's recycled. And then the short program is step, which all I could think of when I heard it was the fact that Shevchenko and Eremenko had just withdrawn from Finlandia.
Yes,
but I do like it as a music choice on its own. With Benoit choreo on Katya, I'm not sure if I love it yet. I want to see it a few more times. But as a music choice, I'm glad to see more choices from our kids, Shevchenko and Eremenko, becoming more popular.
Yeah, they're pioneers. They need to be appreciated more for their contributions to the originality of music and ice dance. Yeah.
And then Alexia,
yeah.
Alexia, I can call her Alexa. Alexia got second in the short and, fifth in the free, but she ended up fourth overall, got that spot for Switzerland. A really glaring, I guess, sponsorship of those who leave Stefan. You too can look like Alexia at Nebelhorn.
Truly incredible.
Stefan Lambiel hates her.
I'm happy for Alexia that she left Stefan because I think she needed to get out of there. But I'm not happy that she's working with Morozov because no woman, no one in skating should ever have to work with that man. But I could not get over how why is he having her skate to Scheherazade and choreographing it? And Annabelle is skating to Scheherazade. I know that you have no originality left. You're an old man who's tacky with no taste, but could you not come up with something different for your, I don't know, she's the only top lady skater he's coaching right now.
I don't think he's technically coaching her right now, is he? He's just doing her choreography.
I thought that he was supposed to be one of her coaches, though. She went back to one of her Swiss coaches, and then he was supposed to be working with her, or that was announced at some point.
I think there were rumors that she was going to work with him as her coach, but I'm not sure they ever came to fruition. As of now, her only coach is Kuiper.
Yeah, Morozov is her choreographer, according to her ISU bio.
Well, either way, he's a hack, and I'm sorry he gave her that. I thought the short was better. I thought she was very pleasant to watch in the short.
I'm older than her. That's so scary.
Well, not by that much.
Yeah, but
I mean, she's been through a lot, so yeah.
I thought she was older than me. That's shocking.
I think it's just because she's been around for a while in skating, so it makes us think they're older than they are. Yeah. But what did you guys think of Anastasia Shabatova from Ukraine? After she had to leave.
Our outspoken queen. Actually, can I just going back to Alexia for 1 second?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
the actual program itself. I wanted to be prepared. The actual program itself, Scheherazade, I felt like it wasn't really a program. She was just kind of skating element to element, which surprises me from her since, performing and kind of playing to the crowd is her bread and butter. So not sure what the decision was there, if it's just that she just kind of wanted to just have a clean skate to make sure she gets that spot, and we'll add more flourishes as the season goes on.
I agree. It might be that.
I agree. She barely missed the free program at Worlds this year.
Right.
So I feel like it's more important to get the Olympic spot and then spend the season improving and hoping to make the free skate at the Olympics.
Which is totally fair.
Yeah.
Did she go to the Olympics in 2018?
I thought she did, but I could just be imagining that.
She did go to the Olympics.
Okay, yeah. So
and she made the free skate.
Oh, good for her.
All right. Yeah, I feel like missing out on the free at Worlds was just a total fluke.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of skaters did not have their usual showing at those Worlds. I blame it on COVID and yeah.
No, so. I mean, just talk about the ladies like Satoko and Sasha.
Yeah. But
some skaters had unusual showings, but their scores did not reflect that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think the judges were watching one event and the rest of us were watching another event.
They were actually watching a YouTube compilation, greatest hits.
Yeah.
Anyways,
back to Anastasia
yes.
Shabatova,
our outspoken little girl.
Yeah. So I forget, did she qualify a spot for Ukraine?
I think she did, but let me double check. Yeah, she did. She got a spot. And she seemed very relieved about it. I think she was nervous when she got that free skate score, you know, as much as you can tell with the mask on. It did look like she was very relieved about it. So
yeah, I'm happy for her though, because, you know, she got put through a lot by the shitstorm that is the Russian media and Sambo 70 and everyone. And so I'm really happy that, you know, she's able to skate for Ukraine and she'll get to go to the Olympics. So good for her.
I liked her free program too, like deciding to go with the old style bond versus the more modern bond that everyone else does lately.
Yeah, I liked her free more than the short. But I like Carol of the Bells. So like, I didn't mind it. Like, I was like, you know what? Go for it, girl. So I thought good for her. And I liked Josephine's Joker program a lot. I had liked it at Worlds, and I was happy she had like a nice moment with it at Worlds. So I thought she had a pretty good skate here for herself too.
Yeah, she has really good interpretation, even if her technical skill may not be at the same level as some of the other people here, but she's keeping up.
I agree. I think the one thing I was the saddest about from the Nebelhorn ladies results was that Amelia didn't qualify a spot for Cyprus, because I feel like Cyprus is having a moment. Like Marlena,
they're really building up their federation.
Yeah, Marlena obviously won ACI last weekend, and I actually really liked Amelia's free program. I like that song a lot. I have it in one of my playlists, so I was like, I liked it. But I hope, you know, that this doesn't make their ladies like lose confidence. I hope they keep working to build throughout the season, because I think they could have a nice moment at Worlds.
And you never know. Sweden may decide to give up their spot for no discernible reason.
Well, I was reading, I don't know if you guys saw, I saw on Twitter that the Swedish Federation has like a technical score minimum that they require their skaters to make. So it's like, even though they qualified the spot, like if Josephine or some of the other ladies don't meet that minimum, they wouldn't even send them to the Olympics, which is crazy to me, because why would you not send a skater if, you know, you have the spot? So I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, they did it to the older Majorov brother, right? Pyeongchang.
Yeah, I think that's what had happened.
Yeah, so like Sweden only lets their skaters or figure skaters go to the Olympics if they have that specific score minimum. However, they can send their skaters to the Olympics if they don't have that score minimum, if it falls under the like experience technicality. So like these skaters could appeal on going to the Olympics on the grounds that going to the Olympics will help them improve, because it will give them experience in competing and like get feedback on their score. So I think that is the path that we're going to see them going in, is trying to appeal on that basis, because it's already written into the bylaw.
Okay. Well, I hope that their skaters are able,
to such an odd choice overall. I guess the idea is they don't want to, I don't know, they don't want to be embarrassed at the Olympics. I'm not sure why they have that rule in place.
I assume so, because Sweden's like pretty strong at winter sports. Maybe they just don't want to pay for them to go. if they're not gonna do well. They're like, you better get a medal or top 10 finish, or we're not paying for you.
Yeah, but I think this kind of goes into the argument that, you know, I've seen some people saying that we shouldn't automatically give small feds like one like spot per discipline. Like we need to reallocate them to like Russia or whoever has the strongest skaters in the discipline. And I just disagree, because I think that it's never good in figure skating if just one country or one federation is dominating the sport, because it dissuades people from wanting to compete. And at the end of the day, I think the Olympics is about bringing together athletes from all over the world to have a chance to compete on the world's biggest athletic stage. And so like in a situation like this, I'm like, send your skaters, like give them the opportunity. Like who cares if they're going to come in like 15th, 16th place in like the ladies short program? Like at least they had the experience to get out there and compete. So yeah, I hope that Josephine or whichever other skaters are trying to, you know, get that spot are able to appeal.
I agree. It also makes it fair for everyone. Like, you get maximum 3, like we, the ISU, like don't care how much depth your country has. You get 3 like everybody else, or you get 2 like everybody else, or you get 1 like everybody else, and that's just the way it is. And
well, just think about it. If Russia could just take spots from small federations, at some point you would have competitions that are large competitions like Worlds or Olympics that are 50% Russia, 50% everybody else, and everybody else is comprised of people like the US and Japan, potentially Canada at some point in history.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, you know, you can't grow a federation like Cyprus or like Georgia if the spots are only based on skill and there's no allocation made for anyone else.
Yeah, especially since like, I mean, like Georgia, like their federation is so much newer than the Russian federation, or like the infrastructure of it at least.
Right, exactly.
Alrighty, what discipline would you guys like to discuss next?
Let's go to dance. I think there's just a lot to talk about there. Between Junior Grand Prix, Nebelhorn.
Yes, dance.
So the 4 allocated Olympic spots went to Turkila Verslus of Finland, Kazakova Revia of Georgia, Garabedian Prue Senecal from Armenia, and the Tashlers from the Czech Republic. And I don't know about you guys, but 2 of those spots went to teams that were not Holly Harris, Jason Chan, who I really wanted to get that spot.
I know.
And
truly sad.
I'm really upset about it.
Anti-Australian sentiment at the Nebelhorn Trophy this week.
The truly oppressed class was Australians.
Yeah, Holly and Jason are actually the most oppressed ice dancers.
Yeah. So
yeah, the increase in scores that Garabedian and Prue Senecal have been seeing this season, for me, it doesn't really correlate to what they're putting out. But I don't know, maybe I'm missing something.
I'm gonna say it. As soon as I found out, or I realized that Ari Zakarian is like the vice president of the Armenian Skating Federation, I was like, oh, it makes sense now why these 2 skaters who no one's ever heard of before, you know, he tested positive at Worlds after, you know, we saw on social media that they were not wearing masks in the areas they were supposed to. And all of a sudden they're complaining, you know, that they were robbed of a world spot as if Nebelhorn wasn't, you know, 6 months away. It makes a lot of sense because we know that Ari is a very big player in the ISU, trying to build up skating internationally. And so I 100% think that he was putting in the good work for them, and Marie-France was putting in the good work for them with those judging panels, because I think she didn't want to hear them complaining about Worlds anymore. And she's got a lot of teams to manage this season. I think she was just like, we just need to get them a spot so I don't have to deal with them.
Also, until judging panels were released, Armenia could have been a
exactly
on the panel, and she, as any ice dance judge, cannot afford to lose the goodwill of those countries that are not the big 4 and don't have set alliances, or free agents, as you can call them, who, you know, their alliances really depend on which coaches are helping out their skaters. You know, they're like, oh my gosh, Marie-France got our ice dancers to Olympics, you know. Right. That curve lift from Papadakis and Cizeron +5 GOE.
Yeah,
very
but
true.
I definitely, you know, the Armenians were losing. Tina and Simone were losing to Holly and Harris during the summer at like the Quebec summer competitions, and then Cranberry Juice Cup happened in August, and all of a sudden, you know, they have a very comfortable lead ahead of them. And so I think, you know, as ice dance fans, like we knew where this was going for Nebelhorn, but I mean, their programs, they're skating to Aretha Franklin. Like, it's fine. I don't think it's anything special.
Yeah.
I find it, I don't know why, like, it's like interesting to me that they're skating to like Frank Sinatra for their free dance, because they don't give me that like energy as like a team. But you know,
it's like, let's be a lady.
I like
something
Frank
else.
Sinatra music, so I don't care.
I like
Was it
Frank
actually
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra? To me, it
I
sounded
don't
like
think it
someone
wasn't.
trying to be Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I don't think it was Frank Sinatra, but like,
Michael Bublé.
Let's
don't
see. It's
know.
Autumn Leaves by Joseph Cosma and Johnny Mercer, and Luck Be a Lady by Frank Loesser.
Yeah, it was like a Frank wannabe. But all I kept thinking during their free dance is like, every time I saw her costume, I was like, I feel like she's wearing like a Caitlin Weaver knockoff dress of like that white dress with all the pearls that she wore during like the 2016 Worlds during like their short dance. That's all I was thinking. I was like, this is like the purple version of Caitlin Weaver's ugly pearl dress that I didn't like.
It reminded me a lot of Kehlani's dress from the past few seasons, where it's like a lot of necklaces. Kind of.
I can't
looking,
remember, but I
it's
believe
very
you.
Sparkly.
Also, like Maddie Hubbell's Shallow had like had all the necklaces.
Yeah, I hated that dress too. That was not a good dress for her.
It's not trendy. Stop being so Sugi. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what? They got their spot, and so we don't have to hear them complain anymore about how they got robbed of a spot at World. So you know what? Maybe that's a win on that front. But yeah, I'm very sad for Holly and Jason, because I really like them.
Armenians will enjoy the rhythm dance.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not so sure we'll see them do both programs at the Olympics.
And that's all they're gonna enjoy, but that's okay, because they can still get that Olympic tattoo, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Is the
Get the necklace, get the ring, get the tattoo, whatever it is you need to get.
Olympic tattoo and the Olympic dating pool and the opening ceremonies. Like, that's like all you need.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Holly and Jason should have kept the Australia free dance you never saw? Because I kind of do.
Yes, because I'm not a fan of the Shaka Khan free dance. Sorry to them, but I don't think it's the best vehicle for them. The fact that half of it is not even the Shaka Khan version just doesn't work for me. I know you need the rhythm change, but I'm sure the Australia free dance would be a little more enjoyable, at least for me personally.
Yeah, like I agree. Like, I like the Shaka Khan free dance, but like I saw it 2 years ago, and so I don't want to see it, even though we didn't see them at all basically last year. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, I want something new. And you know, it's funny because when they announced it, or it was like on their ISU bio that they were gonna skate to the Australia free dance had they made the free dance at Worlds, I was like, I don't even remember the score to this movie. Was there an original song? I mean, I know it's Baz Luhrmann, but I was like, is there a song to this, like an original song for this movie? I don't know. So Holly and Jason, if you're ever listening to this podcast, can you please drop the On Ice Perspectives footage from last season of the Australia free dance? But, you know, hopefully they have a nice fall season on the Grand Prix, could go to Worlds, maybe build up for next year. But I'm very sad that they didn't get that spot.
Yeah, next time, hopefully. They're still very young.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah. But what did you guys think of Yulia and Matthias's programs?
So let's see. The rhythm dance is where they have River come in halfway through, right?
Yes.
Which I think is an interesting choice that I would not necessarily have chosen for them had they asked me for some odd reason. But I do think overall they look better than Lombardia. I just like, there's a body roll at one point in the rhythm dance that I'm just like, this is not for you. You're a wonderful team. I do like them a lot. I'm very happy for them that they won. I'm very happy that they get to go to the Olympics. But you know, she reminded me a little bit of Vasilisa in Kakapol's rhythm dance, where she's kind of smiling throughout the whole thing. But River by Bishop Briggs is not a song that you should be smiling through. You should be kind of giving us a little bit of attitude, a little bit of sass. And I don't know. They executed it well. I just don't think it was the best choice for them.
I agree. I don't like the River part. When it came on, I was like, why is this happening? And I noticed like she's just smiling the whole time. And and this is kind of something I've noticed throughout the rhythm dances we've seen so far this season, is I don't think these skaters like always know how to interpret what they're skating to. And so it's a lot of smiling and like kind of sometimes like trying to be like smirky and like cat-eyeing to the camera. But yeah, I don't know. Is there I can't remember, is there free dance from last year or is it new?
I think it's new.
Great question.
But I think it's a similar vibe.
I'm sure someone will let me know. I'm curious, guys.
Yeah.
Well, last season, did they compete?
I don't think they went to Worlds, but they didn't qualify past the rhythm dance. So we didn't see the free dance. So I don't
Was
even
she
know.
recovering from something? Because that's surprising to me that
the season, the 2019-2020 season, I think they had missed the fall because she had an injury that they were recovering from. Because I remember they debuted at like that Minto competition in the spring that like Chalk and Bates had debuted at back in 2019, like when they were coming off an injury. So I don't know. But yeah, if you're a Yulia and Matthias fan and you listen, let us know.
Is definitely new because they used Lewis Capaldi, and they did not do that last year.
Okay.
Which
so maybe it's just
not a fan of. It's just a very similar vibe, I think. I think they had similar colors for the costumes.
Yeah, I think they're wearing the same color they wore for whatever that free dance was. They debuted late in the 2019-2020 season, and maybe it's just blending together for me. But yeah, I don't know.
I did really like the first piece they used. I think it's called Wild Side. It's like very emotional, instrumental. It almost reminds me of that song from Gladiator. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh,
but,
We
the
Are
really
Free.
Soaring yes, that one.
Now We Are Free. I have heard this piece before from, I think I don't know if I've heard it like online or other skaters, but I was like, I recognize this piece of music. But yeah, my favorite of their free dances is still the free dance they had the first season of the quad in 2018-2019, where she had those beautiful lifts and that beautiful pink like dress. And this into the seasons.
I was literally thinking about the like GIFs on Tumblr I used to watch.
Yeah.
I do think, I don't know what it is about their lifts post that time off. Maybe it's because they have to work around her injury. I'm not loving them. The rotational lift is the same rotational lift they had in their last free dance, and her legs look very messy. They're kind of sticking out in a way that is not very elegant or nice looking, and they are a very elegant team. So it's a little bit, I noticed in their straight line lift too, like the leg positions are just not great. And I don't know if it's because they're trying something new or they're working around an injury, but it kind of takes me out of it a little bit because otherwise they're very lovely. Not a huge fan of the Lewis Capaldi addition to the instrumental piece, but could be worse.
I agree.
You're not a Capaldi. I don't know what Lewis Capaldi.
I really like, I think, is it Ziegler and Kiefer who are skating to a Lewis Capaldi piece, and I think for them it works really well. I just don't know that this piece in this program was the best choice, or maybe I'm just a hater. I don't know.
Billie Eilish's career as a skating warhorse over?
It's the era of Lewis Capaldi now.
I would like to go back to the Coldplay era of figure skating. Like, I don't think we skated to enough Coldplay songs. And there's still
someone is skating to Coldplay this season. I can't remember who it is.
Who is it?
Well, besides Alexa and Brandon. I mean, someone besides them.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, guys, like, Coldplay has like so many like a huge discography, and we only scratched the surface in like 2016, 2018. Like, I agree. I think we could afford to go back instead of doing these artists that only have like one or two albums out.
I'm okay if we just don't do either. That would be fine.
That's actually like a great point. Anyways,
just bring in M83 if you want something that's been on the radio.
Okay, so I was not expecting Mueller and Dieck, Krylova's team. I don't know if they're still with Krylova.
They are. They're her number one team according to Valerie Engelopol.
Okay, so I was not expecting them to do like a Whitney Houston free dance, and I don't think that is that's their probably strongest suit. I don't know. I think I like their free dance at Worlds better. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember thinking it was fine.
Yeah, this was a lot of miming, a lot of mouthing. I think it was specifically a Bodyguard soundtrack, so it did involve him being shot at one point.
Oh,
wait. Like Bodyguard, the show with Richard Madden?
No, honey, the show
with Whitney Houston.
Yeah, like the iconic like movie where she sings, and die. You know, which apparently they're going to remake into a new TV show. And I'm like, can you just leave some iconic pieces of cinema alone? Like, this does not need to be remade.
No original ideas allowed.
But
not allowed. Not allowed in capitalism today.
When I watched this free dance, I was so embarrassed at the beginning when she's like miming, like mouthing, like Whitney talking. I don't know. Krylova, what is this? Like, can you, like, why are you doing this to them? Take that out. I don't know.
She's also very, I noticed that he does the thing where she grabs his foot and is kneeling and he pulls her forward, the same thing that Valerie does with Vasilisa. I hope that, you know, it's not going to become a pattern of recycling choreo for Krylova teams. But the miming and the mouthing was also very prevalent in their Joker rhythm dance. Which the costumes were interesting. The music was interesting. The voiceovers were interesting. Was any of it enjoyable? Not for me personally, but I know there are some people out there who really liked it, and for them, happy for you, I guess. I mean, in general, I really don't enjoy this team much. They're not bad. They're just not my vibe.
I agree.
And so to see them get the silver here was just kind of like, okay, they're not taking a spot anyway away from anyone. So
yeah. But moving on to the stars of this event, for me, our favorite team, Maria Kazakova and Georgi Revia, who we haven't seen compete in 25 million years.
Oh my gosh.
Let's start with the rhythm dance. Personally, I liked the first song choice. I do not understand what it has to do with Usher. I think our kids, like many of the other dance teams this season, had no idea what to skate to and kind of just picked two random pieces of music, one that was like a popular radio hit circa 2010, 2009, and some other current song, and they just kind of put them together. And yeah, I don't know why those needed to go together. It was a choice.
I was actually surprised that I wasn't more when the music was announced, which was before we saw them compete. Maria is studying dance at the same university as Sofia Shevchenko. She's been taking quite a lot of hip hop classes while Georgi was recovering from his knee injury, which took a lot longer than they expected, which is why I was very happy to see them here at all. And so because of all that, I was expecting a little bit more exciting choice for the music. But having said that, I do think it's a good program. I think it could have been a lot worse, and I'm glad it's not. Their training mates, Kudai, Berdieva, and Bazin, they've made some very bold choices that I personally would not have liked to see on Maria and Georgi. So in that sense, I'm happy that they went the way they did. I think her costume is great. I think it looked a little rough here. It looked a little sloppy. They ideally would have done better, but they got the spot, and I think they will only improve. It's been a year and a half. This was their first outing since Junior Worlds, where they lost the gold medal by a very, very, very small margin.
Robbed.
I mean, the team that beat them has now dissolved, so I think we can just call them the champs. Yeah. But considering all of that, considering his knee, the fact that it was misdiagnosed, the fact that they, that's the reason that they had to pull out of Worlds is because his knee issue was misdiagnosed by the doctors and they had to start recovery basically all over again. So considering all of that, I think it was a good outing. I think it's a fine program. And, I'm just glad that they didn't make any major mistakes.
Yeah. I love the free dance. I think it's going to be a moment when they're in like top shape towards, further into the season. I feel like Maria is so lovely to watch because she's you can tell she actually like listens to the music, and a lot of her movements, in my opinion, are choreographed to work with the music instead of we choreograph something and we just kind of put the music over it. Like everything has a purpose. And I think my favorite part of the program is her movement in the straight line lift into the curve lift or the rotational lift. It's her body movements on the music work really well for me. And yeah, I really like it a lot. I think it's original. I think it's different. Pretty much every top 10 team we've seen so far is doing classical, very like run-of-the-mill lyrical contemporary boring programs, in my opinion. So it was cool to see something that was different and kind of like stopped and made you actually pay attention to it, because the music is creepy and a little bit jarring, and it kind of like is a little bit entrancing, I think, kind of pulls you in. So
Yes, I am obsessed with this free dance. I've been saying for a few years now that people need to be doing horror in figure skating, especially in dance. So I'm very happy to see them go in that direction. Love the opening creepy doll choreo where she's like climbing on his shoulders right into that stationary lift, which I think is beautiful, even if it is not the most complex thing. I think it really works for the program. It's funny that you call it the combo lift, because that's actually one of the things that I'm getting a little tired of. They've been doing it since 2018. So we've been seeing it for a while now. I will say that with Georgi, recovering from a physical injury, I understand why they would stick with something that they've done before. I am a little bit traumatized by it, because if they had done 2 separate lifts instead of 1 combo lift, the GOE at Junior Worlds 2020 probably would have been enough to give them the win. So for that reason and that reason alone, I am not always the biggest fan of combo lifts in general, but I do think they make it work for the music. They're clearly very comfortable with it, even coming off a long hiatus from competition. One thing that I thought was interesting, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, the beginning of their step sequence, their hold was their arms were like over their heads. I thought that was really interesting, and I would love to see that eventually maybe part of a pattern dance somewhere along the line. I thought that was a really cool choice. I always love seeing teams do interesting hold that is still actually hold and not just open side-by-side skating.
Yeah. So my main criticism of the program that I would like for them to change is that the music during their choreo step sequence, it's intense. It's basically like the build of the program. And I know obviously that, Georgi is recovering from his knee issues and everything, but I don't know if I would have like put the step sequence there. I almost wish they would like move it to somewhere else in the program, because I want to see them skating like really fast during that section, and like maybe going into like a choreo lift or something. I just want to see a lot of speed during that part, and they just kind of, I don't know, they're very like stationary. This is an issue I have with the choreo step sequence, is a lot of teams get really stationary during it, and I'm like, the music is building, I want you like moving and going fast and like showing your speed. And I don't know, that's my only criticism of the program, but I think it's going to be really good at the Olympics. I think it'll be fun.
With the choreo steps, I almost wonder if they were, because their last choreo step sequence was such a moment, was such a climax for their program, I wonder if they kind of went into it with the same mindset, but without the cartwheels, it doesn't quite hit the same way. I do think change. They need more practice. I think just as they get more comfortable in the program and more comfortable with being back in competition in general, I think they could really create a moment out of it that could potentially match the intensity.
Yeah, it almost looked unfinished to me, so I feel like I'm probably being a little too harsh on them. It's probably just not fully choreographed, because they have to be careful and obviously be smart, as Scott Moyer and Tessa Virtue would say. They have to be smart with how they train. Every movement and like everything they do in practice, every movement has to have purpose, because when you're dealing with an injury like that, we don't need to just develop an overuse injury because we just didn't train smart. So but
oh, sorry, you can go.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we should spend a moment talk about our favorite, or at least my favorite part of ice dance, the politics of it all.
Oh yes.
So let's have a look at these really, really fun national bias meters. Thank you, skating scores. Love you. I think who hurt the Australians were really feeling themselves. They were really hyped off of their shrimps from the Barbie, with a whopping 8.67 above also the Israelis and our favorite Turkish judges.
Speaking of the Israelis, everyone's favorite old man.
We'll get to that. I literally just watched, I'm not even kidding, right before we got on, I watched their programs and I was like, you're so fucking old. How are you still, like, he just looks so old. Like, why are you still
Isn't his partner is like 17.
She's 19, I think. Yeah, she's very young.
19? Oh my God.
Yeah, she's literally younger than me.
I thought that she looked older than the one he had at Worlds. So I was like, oh,
I
did
think
he
it's just-
finally get like a
Is it not the
20-something?
same partner?
It's not the same partner from Worlds. No, this is a new partner.
Oh,
Apparently
Okay,
he
well-
had like 3 partners this summer, like until he got to her, and I guess she could
Keep up.
I don't know, but that's apparently
Scared
he said
both.
multiple partners, but yeah, I don't
Men and ice dance and skating, in partnered skating, need to be eradicated or need to learn.
truly. All right. Anyway, looking at the politics.
you know what? I'm with the Australian judge. Give Holly and Jason 8.6.
They were feeling themselves.
Well, Holly and Jason was all well and good, but there was also Brendan and Kaylani in the mix. So
Well, Brendan, he can, we don't need to talk about him.
Well, I'm also
who was the
I-
meanest to the other countries?
Italy was the meanest. They said, "You are here on our soil. We're going to show you. We're going to show you how we really feel about tourists in Italy."
Wasn't this in Germany?
This was in Germany. This was in Oberstorch.
Okay, Lombardia, Nebelhorn.
Anyways, no,
They-
actually, the Italians are actually they were actually thinking about like losing territory to Germany after World War II.
As soon as you started that sentence, I knew where it was going, and I was hoping you wouldn't finish
Well,
it.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I kept confusing Nebelhorn and Lombardia in our last podcast. I kept calling it Nebelhorn, Lombardia, and now I think it's Lombardia.
You know what though? Nebelhorn's stream was like slightly better than Lombardia, so I will give it the win to Nebelhorn.
Okay, but like those Germans, they're very efficient. Have you guys seen that SNL sketch where it's like the Greek gods and they talk about how they're gonna solve the financial crisis?
Yeah.
And then the German god of finances comes to help them out.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's quite funny.
Let's see, who else was mean to other countries? Oh, the Czech judges were very mean to other countries, helping out the
Tashlers.
tango siblings of the Tashlers.
Okay, can we talk about, because
Why
I'm gonna
would you
bring
do
it
a
up.
tango with your sibling when you
It's
don't
not-
have to?
It's not just that. Okay.
Life with Derek vibes.
So we heard, well, they gave me like Ryan and Sharpay vibes. Like,
And then I also want to talk about judging panels for the Olympics.
okay, yeah,
boy.
because there was a lot of drama on Twitter because people seem to not be able to count and, forget that Marie
you also have
Frauds.
to- I forget, most of these people are in high school, Sarah. They haven't done calculus yet.
I'm pretty sure I thought they taught you how to count by, the 9th grade.
Oh, you didn't hear they switched that to the college curriculum now?
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well,
frankly speaking, it's been a while since you guys were in high school.
yeah,
you
I'm an
like-
old hag.
Oh, straight to the heart.
Yeah, I'm an old
kidding,
hag.
I
I
love
don't
you
know
guys.
anything.
So I'm gonna read the tweet and I want to highlight. I didn't notice this. It says judging panels for #Olympics #Beijing.
Beijing.
No, it says Beijing.
Yeah.
I assume it's Beijing, but it's Beijing. #dance. Got Russia, of course. USA, of course. Canada, of course. Italy, Great Britain, Spain, Poland, China, Lithuania, France, Germany, Japan, and Ukraine. So
Can you put that on the screen? I want to see it.
yeah, you guys can look at all my tabs.
Yeah.
Lithuania, I'm sure Marie France is very happy she accepted
Oh.
Allison Stahl.
Yes, she
Oh,
collected.
she-
I'm sure that's why she accepted Allison Stahl.
As Ariana would say, she collected another Pokemon and it
Oh, I call
came to
it,
her advantage.
I call it like Model UN. She's gotten another country for her proposal. I'm actually gonna look at the judging panel for 2018 Olympics because I know Japan was on there and Canada.
Mhm.
God, can we have Shinamano on
our
the
favorite
panel?
judge, Andy Ice Antoinette.
Can Shinamano please be on? I need him on the ladies panel or the dance panel, please.
He doesn't do
Please.
dance.
I don't think he
thought
does
he's-
dance. I think he only
I
does
thought-
singles.
I thought he did dance in the past for some reason.
If you're a technical control, you can only do one discipline. Or I think if you can do singles.
You can do
Oh.
men and ladies, I believe.
Men,
But
Okay.
you can't
Like,
do
I will-
pairs and dance.
Maybe I'm confusing him with another Japanese dance judge, but I thought he did dance at some point.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, he
will
needs
say
to be on the ladies
Okay.
panel then.
So the judges in 2018, sorry, I'm just like reading this. We don't know who. So I said the technical control panel hasn't been announced.
Mhm.
If I was Russia and
Allah.
no, Pom Pom Senior.
But he does have.
Is he not eligible?
No, because
because Anthony can't go to the Olympics.
yeah, so he can go. And this is how the USA Russia alliance for singles happens is through Pom Pom Senior. Is my theory. But he hasn't done it since like 2018 or 2019, I think. But
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the computer. That's not bad. Anyways, so it was Canada, Russia, Ukraine, France, Japan, Turkey, Italy, USA, Israel, Netherlands. Oh, sorry, those are operators. Never mind. Wait.
I have to say Dutch judge in ice dance. That's an interesting one.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, there are not a lot of Dutch people in figure skating, but it's because they're also obsessed with that long form figure skating, or what's it called, where it's like the tracks and it's like
speed skating. Speed skating?
Yeah, no, it's like long distance speed skating.
Are you sure it's still speed skating?
No, it's like speed skating, but they do it and it's like a longer distance. So they do it for like 1,000 meters or like 2,000 meters.
Oh,
that's wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like obsessed. They're like I think they have like 90% of those like types of rinks in the world are like.
So, quick question.
Sorry,
because when I saw this tweet, I was like, who is Jeroen A. Prins? Like, is he a member of the ISU? Like, why didn't the ISU tweet this?
Oh wait, he's Dutch. What?
Oh.
Okay. Figure skating. Okay, so he's
a referee, judge, and controller. Okay. Let's see if he's
cool. All right. So he
why is he just tweeting this out?
I don't know. I was like, shouldn't like the ISU tweet this out?
He's feeling himself.
Who is that on the screen?
Yeah. Is that pairs or dance? I can't.
It looks like
dance.
It looks like dance, and like
the costumes look like dance.
I think this is pre-Vancouver, maybe. Okay, sorry. I just like copied his name. I want to see what he's judged.
Yeah. Let's see who. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering his name. Jeroen.
Okay. Oh my god. So he did. Oh, he was at Nebelhorn. That's why he knows.
Okay.
Interesting.
So he does pairs. He's a pairs judge. So maybe that's pair. Oh, and he does dance.
Best discipline.
He does dance and pairs. So in pairs, he was very harsh on the Georgians, but he was very harsh on the Georgians, loving the Germans. Oh, let me share this with you guys so I like know what I'm saying. Okay. And then he's quite negative. Doesn't like to do that.
Interesting.
He did Warsaw Cup in 2019 and the Nebelhorn Trophy. I guess it's quite easy for him to get to from the Netherlands too.
Wait, can you go back up to Nebelhorn? This recent Nebelhorn. So he had. Oh, interesting. So this is for the short program that he had.
He was very negative in the long program. I don't think he only had positive on 3 people. Loving those Germans though. Loving the Germans.
Well, they're like
well, they weren't even going for a spot, so that doesn't really matter.
I love how he like that 1 point from the technical panel for his countrymen.
Danilova Siba are famous Friends skaters. They're the ones who skated to the Friends theme song.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, I remember that. I like that.
I'm going back to like farther. What is this?
USCLA pairs.
US International Figure.
Oh, so he went to a classic. Okay, so he's
in 2019.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Yeah, so he was very generous to CPOM in 2019.
Yes, CPOM more than Bach.
You know what? So do I. He's not wrong.
he had them over Bach.
As he should. I would.
As he should. I actually love this Dutch judge now. He's my bestie.
Maybe he's friends with Pom Pom Senior.
Maybe. he hasn't done a Grand Prix since 20. He did the free skate. Oh, and he does not like Xenia or Elizaveta.
He put Mako in first. That's interesting.
Good for Mako. Good for her.
Good for her. Sorry.
Okay. So back to the Olympic for dance. So
I'm gonna back it up again.
I feel like this panel is so skewed towards Gadbois. I feel like Marie-France is like saying her prayers.
But is it possible to not be skewed towards Gadbois at this point, like mathematically?
Well, unless we had like a European very heavy panel like at dance for Euros in 2020 when Gabby and Guillaume lost to Victoria and Nikita, like, yeah, it's hard to not be skewed towards Gadbois.
I mean, I think also part of it is like it's very different this year, and it's European. It's like European against European, and then two skating schools against each other versus North American versus European in the same skating school. Because like in 2018, Russia and France were working together for dance, but like now they can't work together because they're opposing each other. And now you have skating school versus skating school, and that's where you get the blocks versus like before it was kind of like countries had to make their own individual alliances for, I feel like I'm like talking about Survivor. I'm like their alliances.
You're not wrong.
They had to make the different alliances, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think in here, countries are going to be going by skating school versus like nationality.
Yeah, I think except for Canada.
I'd love to see the Spanish judge go rogue. Just be a huge Sara Hurtado fan.
Oh God, I need Sada and Kirill to be on that Olympic team. I really need it.
What are your guys' thoughts? So, like, we have them all divided up, you know, blah, 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 blah. What if Sarah gets the Spanish spot and Kaneda get the Japanese spot? Because that changes things.
It does change things.
It does change things unless the particular judge for like Spain and Japan is someone that likes Marie-France.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is like cliche, but I feel like if I was Marie-France and let's say Kaneda get the Olympic spot, I would go to Japan and say, like, I know my skaters didn't get the Olympics, but remember my loyalty to you. I've taken in 2 of your ice dance teams. They've medaled at XYZ competitions. They've been consistently going on the international scale, pulling personal bests. Do you think judges would be sympathetic to that? Like if she kind of lobbied with like, I've been working with you for 5 years. Like we didn't make the Olympics team, but still be with me at the Olympics and help my school be successful so that I can help your skaters in the future.
I mean, she works with these countries, but the thing is, like, you know, we used to talk about the Gadbois bonus, right? Like you see these Gadbois teams always scoring higher than they should, except for the Chinese team, except for the Japanese team, except for specific teams from specific parts of the world. So recently that's been changing, but I don't know if it's been long enough that, you know, Japanese judges would honestly care more about that than something like Daisuke's effect on dance in Japan as a whole.
Yeah, like to be honest, I don't think Japan gives a shit about ice dance.
What about Spain? What about Spain then?
Spain, I don't know why
Sara's not getting the spot, honestly.
Yeah,
the way Spanish Federation is.
Spanish Federation is upset. They've been obsessed with Olivia and Adrian for years now. I don't know why. I mean, I think Olivia seems like a very cool girl off the ice. In real life, she's a fashion queen. I like her off the ice. In terms of her and Adrian as a team, I don't think that they're anything, you know, I don't think that they've never really been a top team. They've always been on the fringes of trying to be like a top 10 team. I think their rhythm dance is fine. I don't like this free dance at all. And I cannot believe that all of you were gaslighting me when it premiered, thinking it was good. Like it's a very weird kind of boring music edit, even though I think Olivia looks really pretty. Like I really like her costume, but I think, from a political standpoint, like I think her and Adrian, I mean, it's their spot to lose, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I have 2 things to add to that. One, I didn't say it was good. I just said I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, because I thought
All right.
that free dance was going to be
She said, don't
horrible.
put words in my mouth.
I just said that I enjoyed it somewhat, and I thought I would enjoy it not at all.
Okay.
Secondly, also she did make that comment that their lifts were slipping a little bit because he's wearing gloves and she's wearing a silk dress. That seems like something you should
change.
That curve lift. Okay, so
I mean, I think they're working on changing it.
Yeah.
They said they're going to add something to his gloves.
Do you guys remember when they did the Gadbois paid live stream, the curve lift, when they did it in the rhythm dance? Like it.
Oh, I didn't.
It looked bad. Okay, it looked really bad. Like she was like, it just didn't look really secure when she was getting into position, and it looked better at ACI, but it was still like it made me nervous, and especially like you said, LJ, when they were talking about like the gloves, I'm like, did you guys not learn anything from Gabby and Guillaume's costume malfunction at the Olympics? Like, get rid of the gloves. He doesn't need gloves. Don't have like an accident where you could honestly injure yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Spanish judge, regardless, is probably gonna be Team Marie France, just because Spanish Fed is so obsessed with Olivia and Adrian, and I don't know why. But
well, the other thing I was going to say is, you said it's Olivia and Adria's spot to lose. So was the world's spot, and they still managed to lose it. Sarah had been out with a fluke shoulder injury for months and months. She had surgery. She was back on the ice for like 3 seconds before they had what was it? It wasn't nationals or some other competition.
Yeah, they just
to determine who would go to Worlds. Sarah had been back on the ice for 3 seconds. Olivia and Adria had been training regularly the entire season, and still Olivia and Adria put out one of the worst skates I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was horrible. Sarah had been on the ice for so little time, and then they sent her to Worlds, and of course she couldn't get a second spot because the poor woman was recovering from surgery. Olivia and Adria lost the opportunity to get a second spot, and now they're going to say, well, Sarah and Kira lost their opportunity to earn their own spot, which they did, but Olivia and Adria are equally, if not even more, responsible for forcing a woman who's recovering from surgery to go try and get an Olympic spot.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
do you guys think that Olivia and Adria should have gone to Worlds and Sarah and Krill should have not?
Yeah.
Because I think they should have skated well enough to be chosen to send to Worlds. I don't know if it would have been a good decision to send them with the horrible shape they were in.
I think that, look, these two teams, despite the games that these judges are always playing at these panels, like Sarah and Kirill getting absolutely hosed at Skate Canada 2019, while Olivia and Adria were, getting these high scores at Scam and everything. At the end of the day, Sarah was coming off of a major injury and a recovery period. And like LJ said, Olivia and Adria, they had, as far as we know, again, because we're not there, as far as we know, they didn't have any injuries last season. They were obviously training because they wanted to go to Worlds. It's embarrassing, in my opinion, that they flopped that badly at that competition to decide who was going to go, that Spanish Fed felt they had to send Sarah, who clearly was still recovering from, her shoulder injury. And I don't know, part of me is like, you should have just sent Olivia and Adria anyway, because Sarah was recovering from her injury. Mm-hmm. And who knows what would have happened. I mean, Sarah and Kirill came in 11th place, which just kills me because they were so close to getting that, that 10th place spot. But I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. I am sending Sada and Kirill all of the good vibes. I really want them to go. I love the Beyonce rhythm dance. It's one of the only ones I like. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I feel like whatever Spanish judge, unless Julin becomes besties with them, they're probably going to be more pro Gadbois in terms of determining who to put first between Gabby and Guillaume and Victoria and Nikita.
Yeah, so running through the panel, and then we'll discuss some of the controversy in that some of you haven't been paying attention. Anyways, sorry, I'm kind of annoyed by that. Anyways, okay. About Russia. What side do you think Russia's on? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, they're definitely on the side of France.
They're going to send Sofia and Igor to the Olympics. That's who the side they're on.
No, they're going to send Kuds, an assistant, to the Olympics.
Oh my God.
It's raining men.
We've won it, but what cost?
Can we have USA? You know, Marie France's #1 fan because Canada hates her right
Absolutely.
now. So USA is like her BFF. Canada like the toss-up. I wonder what kind of games Carol Lane is going to be playing this year.
I think they'll be on Russia's side.
Yeah, it's not Carol Lane. It's, please, as if anyone politics with Carol Lane. It's Mike Slip. Like, no one cares about her. It's Mike Slipchuk and maybe Liana Carone.
That's like the
Does Mike
worst idea
Slipchuk do
ever.
anything?
I mean, he doesn't do anything. Wait, actually, no. Didn't Liana Carone get like ousted from Skate Canada?
He did pull that coup.
Yeah, so
yeah, that was kind of girl boss of him.
Whoever, you know what? I'm not even giving that to him. I don't even think that was on him. I think that was on like the board or whoever. But like, regardless,
Robbie did it.
We'll go. Whoever.
I'm just saying. I don't know who did it, but I'm saying Robbie did it because he looks like the one.
David, you know what? David Wilson did it. I'm giving it to David.
Oh, David Wilson. Yeah, David Wilson did it.
So he like legitimately wanted to do it though. So
yeah, I know he did.
I know. He was like Liana. If you come back from Denmark and I see you in Canadian soil, you're fine.
Yeah. So whoever in Skate Canada does politicking for dance, and I don't think it's Carol Lane because I bet Julien doesn't even know who she is. Marie France doesn't care about her.
It used to be Marie France, but then
regardless, I think that whoever politics for Skate Canada is definitely going to keep working with the Russian judges this year because they did it at Worlds. It obviously worked to their benefit. Victoria and Nikita rightfully won Worlds as they should have, and Piper and Paul ended up second in the free dance and third overall. And I'm sure that that's going to continue because at the end of the day, Skate Canada has absolutely no hopes for a pairs medal, a men's medal, a ladies medal. I don't think they're going to get it. They're not. I don't think they're going to get a team event medal.
It's mathematically impossible for them to get one.
I think Piper and Paul are their only shot at a medal. And so I think they're going to go really hard for them. And the best way to do that is to work with Russia, in my opinion. So
okay.
I think that's what
we have Italy, our other free agent.
I don't know which way they're going to go. I mean, they don't have a dog.
They must do anti-Gadbois, though, right? On some level, because Charlene and Marco.
Oh, sorry, I spoke over you. But
no, it's fine.
Historically, France and Italy worked very close together, but I don't know what Italy's relationship is with a post-DDA FFSSG. I am not certain of that. And I don't, like, they're kind of, like, stuck in the middle, too. Like, they're not going to get a medal at anything. They're just trying to get the best result possible for...
They're maybe trying to get a team event bronze, maybe.
I'm not going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, Lara Naki-Gutman didn't even. Oh no, she did qualify just barely, right? From Nebelhorn. Lara Naki-Gutman, the Italian lady that was sent to Nebelhorn. So she just barely qualified, but I don't think they're in the conversation.
Of the team event, but I think they're gonna get 5th.
Yeah, I don't think they're in the conversation for a medal unless Matteo or Daniel really suddenly pulls it together very quickly, and so do Della Monica and Clarice.
Yeah,
and their ladies.
Yeah, well, Great Britain is obviously going to be a Gadbois judge because of Lila and Lewis.
And they love their Nivea. They love their mattresses. They love their Saffron Road.
Oh God, I can't. Oh my God, I totally forgot that Sasha and George were at this event.
They were at Nebelhorn.
I kind of like. I shouldn't feel bad for them because like they're not very good, and the fears are already by in Lila and Lewis enough achievements. But yeah, I just kind of like felt bad for them. Like their rhythm dance was so awkward, and I don't know why. I don't know who thought that they were the team to skate to the Nutcracker, but I'm just kind of like, this is mean to them. Don't make them skate to programs like this. But you know what? It's fine because she's very, very rich, so she's gonna have a great life regardless of how she ends up placing in ice dance.
She'll find a passion for horse riding. That's what like rich people do. Is like equestrian.
Yeah, equestrian. She can go to the Olympics, the Summer Olympics at equestrian.
Yes.
You know what? She should do that.
Well, no, actually, the British team is like really, really good at equestrian.
Well, her dad's, maybe he can buy her a way onto the team. I don't know.
No, it's actually hard because you can be like, they're really old, and on the equestrian team, they're like in their 40s and 50s. So she'd have to like wait.
She's got time. It's fine. She's young.
Yeah, no, she can like she can pull a Bella Hadid.
Poland, I don't. Well, Marie France used to have that Polish team, but they left.
They
so
had
I
that
think
team, but they retired, I believe.
Yeah, they did. They retired.
Marie France is gonna.
Marie France never did much for them anyway, so I don't know how much Poland has the warm and fuzzies for her.
Yeah, China is obviously Gadbois. They've been doing the good work for her. Cup of China, the last time they had that event when Chalkenbades almost beat Victoria. Yeah, Cup of Gadbois when Chalkenbades almost beat Victoria Nikita, and that was the beginning of their rise that season.
God, I'm so glad COVID interrupted that.
Thank God. Yeah, Lithuania, obviously, Marie France has Allison and Solius now.
Which, pause, their rhythm dance is Glass Animals. I want to see that so badly.
I do too. Have they announced what their free dance is?
They have, but I don't remember what it is. 1 second.
I really like Allison and Solius. That Aurora free dance was so cool.
Oh, that was amazing.
It was really good. And I know that they
the free dance is Vinegar and Salt by Hooverphonic, which I believe Emmy Peltonen skated to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, One of the Finnish women. I don't remember if it was Emmy or someone else.
Okay, yeah. France is obviously France, you know.
They are besties.
Yeah.
Besties for life.
Yeah, Germany, I don't know. Japan, honestly, I don't know.
Germany's top team is Muller and Dieck, right? So they should be anti-Gadbois.
That's true. Japan, like we said, we don't really know. It's going to just depend on the judge. And then Ukraine will obviously be Julin. Yeah. Speaking of, sorry to go off on the side. So Victoria and Nikita announced this week that they are making changes to the free dance. They're getting rid of the Irish jig at the end. We don't know what we don't know what they're adding to it, but
probably something boring,
something terrible. I'm happy that they're getting rid of it, but I don't have much hopes that it will be much better because I just think that Julin I don't think he has any taste. And I knew after Test Gates, he was so defensive in all his interviews about, well, why would I change the music? It's so good. And I was like, it was terrible. I honestly cannot believe that he allowed Victoria Nikita to debut like that. I really think it left a very bad impression on people seeing them like that. And it's just the freedom. Julin, if you ever happen to come upon this podcast, I think you should just steal Chalkenbade's 2016 Rachmaninoff music edit. It was a fine music edit. I don't think you're going to come up with anything better. Just take it.
Yeah.
I mean, Julin is always interesting because Nazarova and Nikitin, I think they do they train with him anymore? They don't, right?
I think they still do.
Because they've always had really interesting and outlandish programs, which I think are amazing. You're right. They're still with Julin. And so clearly, if you can bring some kind of vision to the table, you can use it. I think that Vicky to just have no vision.
Yeah, I agree. And and I believe he is now working with Angelique and Pavel. I saw that
he's always been working with them. They were back when Angelique couldn't get released from France. They were supposed to train with him, and Pavel with his who was he with last? Konkina before Abashkina got released, or Abashkina, however you say it. But Julin was always supposed to be their coach. She just couldn't get released from France until the fall of Didier. I
really like their programs this season. I love the rhythm dance. I like the free dance. I hope that if they stay with Julin, he can, I hope that they keep bringing their ideas to the table and improve technically, Vika did this quad, because I like them a lot. But
Droz is a choreographer himself, so I'm sure that they will.
Yeah. Also, one last music thing before we probably move on. Gabby and Guillaume announced their rhythm dance music today.
Finally, dear God.
I didn't realize that I guess French Masters is this week or something, and that's why.
Well, are we going to see their programs, or is it going to be not allowed to record past years?
I don't know, but they're going to Finlandia, so we're definitely going to see them there.
Can see them whacking to John Legend.
You know, I don't.
Hey, you might say I'm a dreamer, but I think it's gonna be good.
I mean,
It's gonna
I'll
be
say
fun.
this. I'm sure it'll be
It's gonna be fun.
entertaining.
I think it will be, even if it's cringy, I think I will enjoy it more than everything else I've seen this season. Like, I think even if it's bad, it will still just be funny.
I think I would rather watch every single junior team that's skated on the JGP thus far than watch that program, because the juniors
That's
actually have
true.
taste.
That's true. It's so many arm movements. It's just like, and it's
And
funny
they're not making the same shapes is the problem.
no, at all. And it's funny
It
because
reminds me of Mariah's or
Oh my
RIP
gosh.
Mariah's Lady Gaga program.
RIP
Oh, yeah.
to her
Very,
activist
very
program.
like robotic. I'm like, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop.
yeah, it's funny because they posted like most of the clips that they posted in the video today for the announcement. It was like their twizzle positions, and I'm like, it's just hands everywhere. Nothing matches, like arms, and that's always been a criticism of Papadakis and Cicerone that I think a lot of people have had, is that like it's very limby, and the limbs don't always look nice.
They don't have limb control, and I'm like, you guys are gangly, but like at what cost?
Well, it's like, remember when Isabella Flores did Gabby and Guillaume's lift, but better because she actually used her core and held her limbs and had tension. You know,
Gabby, do some like Gabby
Pilates.
It's not even that. I don't think it's that she doesn't have the capability. It's just that she's not using the muscles for whatever reason. Maybe they like that look. Maybe they like it.
I think they do. I think they like,
because there's no way that she's not capable of holding more
I
tension.
know, but it looks. Can she consider it looks bad?
I don't know.
Apparently they haven't.
But also, recommendation for everyone: strengthen your core. Shoulder plank taps, amazing. Redefined how I think about the plank. Incredible. Exercise tips with Ceci.
Gabby, if you're listening, you should do it.
Well, according to Caroline Green, Pilates is the way to go for your core strength.
And you know what?
So,
I will listen to whatever she says, because
she has got
amazing in those lifts.
All of the ice dancers that listen to this podcast, plank taps. I'm sure you already do them, but they're amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. The first thing I thought when I saw that, and I said it on Twitter, is I was like, we're really gonna have to deal with Chrissy Teigen tweeting about figure skating when they win the Olympics with this John.
Well, no, we don't, because she doesn't have an account anymore.
Oh, yeah,
no, she does. I thought she came back. I thought she said she missed her friends.
She's left so many times that I can't keep track at this point.
Regardless, she'll tweet about them probably if they win. When they win, they're probably gonna win. But yeah, they're gonna announce the free dance music tomorrow. Final vote, ladies. Are they keeping the tango? Are they not? I'm voting no.
I said no because I don't think that Guillaume. I need to think that Guillaume would.
It's EI.
What?
EIGEN.
TEIGN. Yeah. It's Norwegian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her dad's Norwegian.
Oh.
Oh, wait. No. Not me being the top tweet. God.
Only for Ceci, not for the average Joe, probably.
So she does have an account.
The last thing she tweeted about was some controversy with a designer, I believe.
You're
cutting all this out, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that was June 18th.
Yeah.
And she hasn't liked anything since July 31st.
Okay, maybe we'll be safe, but I still think she'll be back for the Olympics, but we'll see.
I think we'll be safe, but also the Olympics are just a slam dunk if you're a content creator to like get like free tweets and likes, because you have to like tweet stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, so cute, so inspirational, and people will eat that up. People.
LJ, do you think Gabby and Guillaume are gonna have a new free dance or keep the tango?
I think they must get a new free dance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, although it would be very funny if we come into Olympic season with Gabby and Guillaume doing a tango and Victoria and Nikita doing a snooze fest.
2 snooze fests of different varieties. Yeah, so we'll see tomorrow. But should we move on to pairs?
Yes. Absolutely, we should.
So I have to say that I actually kind of wish that Laura and Marco had won this event because I enjoyed them the most from all the teams that we saw.
I agree. I think they have a little bit of work to do, which is why they didn't. I mean, other than the fact that Minerva and Nolan are German and this was in Germany and they are a more experienced team. But yeah, I really enjoyed Barqueros on drone. This is her third partner in the past 5 years. The last partner only lasted for a season, so I'm glad that this one seems to be working out better. She has always represented Spain, but he previously represented Italy, I believe. So they're going to have to get him some expedited citizenship if they haven't already, which I'm sure they will.
Keeping his fingers crossed. He's from the northern region of Italy, so he can speak that German and pass that German language test. Unlike Bruno, like pass it
You
right
see, they're
away.
Spanish.
Yeah, they don't need. Yeah, he doesn't need that, hun.
I thought that was a German team. I was like, all right, like let's go German language.
No.
Well, okay,
No,
actually,
the German teams are all totally German this time around.
Yeah. What I really loved about them, and again, I know it's very materialistic, but let's be real, it's figure skating and packaging is everything. I thought they were the best. They had the best costumes. Like they looked very polished to me. They had nice costumes. They looked expensive as fuck. They looked very nice. I loved the blue. They were wearing like the classier version of what like Mateo and Nicole wore like at Worlds with their free skate. They had those like
for their Saturn pilgrims.
Yeah. I thought they looked good. I enjoyed their short program more than the free. First of all, I don't know why
they used Imagine.
I can't take Imagine seriously because all I think about now is Sunika's edit of Chalk and Bates skating to celebrity singing Imagine. So that's what was like going through my mind. And I literally laughed out loud at the end of the free skate when all of a sudden I hear Robert Pattinson like speaking a monologue from Remember Me. I was like, what is happening? Like,
oh, is that what was happening?
Yeah, that's a line from Robert Pattinson in the movie Remember Me. If you were an RPATS fan, you guys know.
This is how Twilight becomes a warhorse.
I was just like,
voiceover monologue.
Yeah, well, beyond the program, I will say as far as technical stuff goes, their twist is very strong. They don't have a lot of features yet. They don't have difficult steps coming in, but that'll come with time. She hits the split, his arms go down. The side-by-side jumps, I mean, it's pairs, so like it's good enough for pairs. She still struggles a little bit, I think, and he potentially does too. Their choreo is lovely. They're both very good with the kind of expressive arms. They have good throws. The lifts, I will say some of those, when he was kind of coming into the lift, some of them looked like he wasn't going to get his arms locked out. He did. He got them up there, thankfully. And there were no hiccups, but it was just a tiny bit precarious looking to me. Death Spiral is great, which I feel like new teams often struggle with a Death Spiral. So I was pleasantly surprised that it looked pretty good. He weirdly fell in the short program step sequence, right? Like out of nowhere.
I just watched this.
For a second, it looked like it was a choreographed moment, but then I was looking at their protocol and it looks like they do have a deduction for the short program.
Oh, so then he must have.
So that was a little weird, unless one of them fell on the side-by-side jump and I'm just not remembering. But they have really nice matching lines, which again, for a new team, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I agree. But it's funny because I just like watched the top like 4 pairs here right before we started recording, and I felt like there were a lot of really shaky lifts at this event that made me very uncomfortable to watch. I mean, obviously we had the Polish team. She had that awful fall. And even for the Georgians, Safina and Berlava,
should we talk about it?
Yeah, when they went into the lift, it was towards the end of the program. I think it was like right after a throw. She was like all the way back, like hanging on for dear life. I was like, oh my God, she's about to go flying. And like, luckily she was okay. They didn't have a fall or an aborted lift or anything, but like, it was really
aborted.
No,
are you thinking of the right team? Because the Georgians
no. Yes, lift. The Georgians had an aborted lift, but at the end of the program, they managed to do a lift, but she looked like she was going to fall out of it. It was towards the end of the program.
Good.
No, it was like, she was kind of like hanging, like leaning really back. Like when she went into it, it looked like he went in with too much force, and like she had to take a second to like get her balance. It looked a little shaky to me. Yeah, I know they had the aborted lift at the beginning of the program, but then at the end of the program, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna drop her.
I love Karina Safina a lot. I have since Russian nationals last year. She and Bakhmat were great. I'm happy to see her getting more international opportunities outside of Russia, as always. Luca, this is the second time this season that he has gotten a death spiral invalidated because he couldn't plant his pivot. This time was worse than on the JGP. We saw the aborted lift. In general, I think she needs a better partner. I'm just not sure that's going to happen because, as far as I can tell, the only reason she and Bakhmat split was because she wanted the opportunity to represent Georgia. I'm assuming. I have no information, but I think that she and Bakhmat were as good, if not better, than she and Berilava are. So I don't see why else they would split. She wears Evgenia Tarasova's The Winter short program dress for their short program to Moonlight when Tarasova and Morozov were previously skating to Moonlight Sonata. So I think that's all very funny. She and Bakhmat also did previously skate to Metallica and a Tommy Profit cover of Can't Help Falling in Love with You. And Metalkina Parkman, the other Georgian team, skated to Metallica last season and are skating to the Tommy Profit cover of Can't Help Falling in Love with You this season. So some funny things happening there. But yeah, otherwise, free program was a huge disappointment, especially because they would have won the entire competition if they had just been clean. You know, she really fought for the side-by-side jumps. So did he. Their throw loop was great. The throw Salchow was perfect to my eye. The carry lift after the aborted lift terrified me when he's on one leg, but they pulled it off. Yeah, I don't know. When you have an aborted lift in the middle of the program like that, I'm always really afraid for what's going to happen in the rest of the elements. But, you know, everything after that was fine. Though I really like their last spin position where he's in a camel and she's grabbing her blade around his leg in like almost a donut position. I think that's a really nice position, and I'm surprised we don't see it more often in pairs. But yeah, I mean, it's both of these Georgian teams. I don't know what's going on. Metalkina Parkman had that aborted lift at Worlds, which is the only reason that Safina Berilava even had to come here. Otherwise, they absolutely would have gotten an Olympic spot there. Now the same thing happened here, but thankfully it was still enough to get a spot. I don't know what's going on there, but if I was Georgian, then I would get them some psychologists or something.
Do we know
the German doctor?
No, we don't need a German doctor.
Nah,
We just need some stability.
Yeah. Do we know why Metelkina and Parkman weren't sent here? Is someone injured?
That's my assumption, because they've been very supportive of Safina Berilava on Instagram, which I'm assuming if they were passed over for the spot, they would not be feeling the warm fuzzies for them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how they both do on the Grand Prix this fall in terms of like who gets the spot.
Well, Safina Berilava are competing as juniors, so.
Oh.
Yeah, they were in the JGP. They got a silver medal.
Okay. Oh, well.
So it was lucky for Georgian Fed that they got them at all, because otherwise they would just not have a pair spot this season, because Metalkina Parkman were the only other Georgian pair.
Yeah. My apologies to the pairs fans watching. Outside of the top teams, I don't watch a lot of the like junior pairs teams, so that's why we have LJ, because she knows what's going on in pairs. But yeah, I thought I actually preferred Haka and Kunkel's programs to Hassa and Siegert's. I didn't know that Anna Capellini was like choreographing now. I thought they had like fun programs.
I do think the contrast for what Annika does with Robert is very interesting to what she used to do with Ruben. Personally, I actually preferred her programs with Ruben. They had that wood cage program that I thought was great, but the age gap and the matchup was just not quite there. I think she and Robert are a better match. I think it's very funny that she's been to the Olympics and now she's competing the season before last season, she was then competing on the Junior Grand Prix circuit. Interesting turn of events, but their programs are very fun. They also had that, I think it was a wipeout program previously. So they're clearly leaning towards some fun programs for their shorts. He's getting better at his emoting. Previously, that was definitely a struggle area for him, where she is just so charismatic on the ice. So kind of she has so much personality. But I don't know. I don't enjoy them as much as I enjoy Haas Siegert, but I do also have an emotional attachment to Haas Siegert because watching them win a medal at Rostelecom unexpectedly was just such a moment because they can win. They can win medals if they hit. The problem is, can they hit? They have some little bobbles here and there, and I wish they would go back to kind of their House of the Rising Sun type program, at least for one of their programs, because they've been sticking with very slow ballads and it's becoming a little repetitive. Yeah. And their choreo is always Mark Pillay, so it's always good.
Yeah. I don't love either music choices for them. I think the packaging in the short is better than the free. I feel like she looks like a mom from like the 1950s with like the hair and the dark like emerald green, and he's just in like a beige shirt. Like it's not, and they're skating to very like slow kind of moody music, and I'm like, we need to at least up the costumes if we're going to skate to something this like slow after they just skated to like a ballad in the short. So I agree with you. Maybe if they do, hope they do something different in the future.
And this is random, but her short program dress is red and then the underskirt is blue. That really bothers me for some reason. Like, I don't understand why, because his shirt is red. So what does it match? I think his shirt also has a little blue on the bottom, but it's very odd.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are they trying to do like an Anna, like Firebird-esque thingy?
Like, I don't think so.
Yes, it's a similar effect when she's in a twist or in a throw jump, but I don't know. It's very odd to me. I have very strong feelings about underskirts specifically. Yes. I think everybody should wear shorts because it looks nicer and neater, and you don't end up flashing your whole butt by accident when you have a wedgie.
Yeah. So was the Chinese team Wang expected to, I've never seen them before. Were they expected to get a spot here? Was this like a surprise that China didn't get a third spot, or was it kind of like, no, they didn't really think they were going to get it?
I actually don't know much about this team, but they did make a few major errors in the free. Otherwise, I think they would have gotten the spot. Their short program was really good. Watching that, I think I and a lot of other people felt like, the future of Chinese pairs is looking pretty decent, at least.
That's good.
They're very young. She's 16, he's 19.
Yeah,
so
they were juniors in 2000. They did juniors in 2020.
Oh yeah, so very recently.
Recently, and they didn't compete. They got second at Fake Cup of China last year, and then they were just on the Junior Grand Prix in 2018 and 2019.
Okay, so they're an up and coming team. They've got a lot of time too.
So it would have been nice for them to make it to the home Olympics, but just wasn't in the cards for them. They had a few errors. I think she fell twice, so it really took them out of the running.
Well, hopefully they do better at their next event. So yeah, but moving on to men, we got to briefly touch on that.
The discipline I paid the least attention
I know.
to.
I watched
nobody.
I think I watched 3 people. First of all, Roman Sadowsky, if you ever listen to this podcast, you owe us damages for intentional infliction of emotional distress for getting that second spot by the skin of your teeth.
That was truly so incredibly stressful.
It just it stresses me out because Roman has such beautiful basic skating. I mean, I don't need to watch him jump. I just like watching him skate around. He's very expressive. I think he's got lovely flow in his arm movements. Just watching, his edges, like he's just a beautiful skater to watch. But I don't know if he has a sports psychologist or what him and his team have in place, but it's so frustrating to see someone with his talent and his potential keep like head casing at important moments. And that Skate Canada is going to hold that against him when it comes time to pick the Olympic team. They're not going to appreciate that, they're not going to think, oh, well, Roman did get us the spot, even though it was by the skin of his teeth. I think they're just gonna be like, well, you didn't do so well at Nebelhorn. And if he keeps making mistakes.
Yeah. exactly. Like he keeps making mistakes. So then Canada doesn't put their confidence in him. So then he feels that they're not behind him. So then he keeps making mistakes. I mean, obviously this is all speculation. I don't know what goes on in his head, but just such a beautiful free skate. It would be so nice to see it competed well, competed cleanly, competed not with everybody on the edge of their seats, stressed out. But yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get to see this at the Olympics, but it would be really, really amazing if we did. And, you know, with the vaccine requirement, who knows, maybe we will.
Yeah, apparently someone was saying that Keegan is vaccinated now. I don't know if he is. I just know that him, you know, expressed that he wasn't comfortable getting it a few months ago. I don't know, maybe that's changed, but yeah, I don't know. I guess congratulations to Canada for getting that second spot. Happy that Roman, you know, did the job at the end of the day, even though these weren't the skates that he wanted. Vincent won the event, but I don't love the program. Like, I never liked the Vincent program last year. I mean, Vincent skating to Vincent. I mean, in my opinion, I think that Josh Groban should be outlawed from skating. I cannot stand his voice. All of his music sounds the same and very saccharine and over the top to me. So, like, not a fan of that. But I mean, he came here, he did the job, he got the third spot that he almost lost for, you know, the US at Worlds. But I don't know. His skating isn't very enjoyable to me, and a lot of the jumps looked very under rotated. So,
and the problem with skating to Vincent is that the kind of iconic Vincent program has already happened with Gillies and Poirier, which, footnote, they need to bring that back for the Olympics. But, you know, like, I keep waiting for the part where the music picks up and it never comes, because that was a specific version of the song recorded for them. But yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy watching Vincent skate, so I usually don't.
Yeah, same. I watched Mark. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on him. I really love him, even though he skates to, like, he gives me,
like, you don't know my thoughts on Mark.
That's true. Yeah, I do know your thoughts on Mark, but I just want you to say them. I just want you to just tell the world. But yeah, like,
let us know.
All right. Well, anyone who follows me on Twitter knows, but for those of you who don't, I love Mark. That shot of Zhenya and Nastia crying over his ridiculous iconic Black Swan free skate at the Russian Channel 1 Cup, whatever that was, that's me every time he skates. I love him. I just so appreciate the commitment to absolutely absurd programs. And I don't know, I just think he's so cool. Like, he's like a professional visual artist. Like, he shows at galleries, and then he's also just like casually a national team figure skater. Having said all that, Mark, love him so much. The short program is not it. Apparently it's music from a Turkish TV show, which I've been told that Turkish shows are apparently popular in Russia.
I believe it. They're popular on Tumblr. There's this like one Turkish show with these two really hot people, some guy and girl who I think are dating in real life, but like, I always end up seeing people putting on my like timeline. I want to know about this. Yeah, I don't know. They're like really popular, so that doesn't surprise me, because like,
yeah, but although this one is, I think, from older, like from the 80s or something, but his costume is very stereotypical kind of Egyptian. His choreography with the hands, there's some of that stereotypical Egyptian stuff. And I know some people say, you know, oh, I'm Egyptian and it doesn't bother me. That's all well and good. I just think even if you kind of don't talk about that aspect of it, which I'm not going to, because I'm not Egyptian or Turkish, so that's not my place. But even disregarding all of that, it's just bad. Like, the costume is ugly, the choreography is ugly, it just doesn't work. And I think when you do have someone who is so committed to such absurd choreography, you need to be giving him stuff that works. The free Jesus Christ Superstar, I think, right?
Yeah,
I don't like the thorns around his neck. I love the free. I'm obsessed with it. I love it.
I miss his like Black Swan program. I just thought
that was still better.
It was like, I just really like, I'm like, Mark, can you bring that program back? Like, I don't know. I just think that was such a good program. But yeah, I think of his two current programs, I definitely agree with you that the short is much worse than the free.
And also the the free has whipping choreo at one point. Like there's the sounds of Jesus being whipped, and he's like moving his arms as if he's being whipped. And I just think that's hilarious. Like not to be blasphemous,
Anti-Roman
but
propaganda.
it is so funny. And he just commits so hard. I hate his new haircut, by the way. Hopefully it grows out by the Olympics, where he will definitely be. Russian Federation, do you hear me? He will definitely be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Mark. I love his commitment. I love that he has interests outside of figure skating, and I can't wait to see him at the Olympics.
Yeah, I feel like he's right now, based on, you know, his momentum, I think he'll be there, but we'll see. But I guess it came out that Averbuk said that like Misha has he's changed the short program again for like the 5th time. I don't even know what he said it's to. Like, sorry guys, I know someone's gonna yell and be like, why are you talking about things you don't know? You know what the music is. But I just know that he said that like Misha has a new like short again, and I'm so sick of these people changing the short program instead of changing the free program back to the White Crow. Like, I'm tired. Can we just honestly, can they just bring back both his programs from last year? I liked the Elvis personally. I didn't have any issues with it. I know people didn't like it. I thought it was
season
fine.
Was the Baseballs cover of Let's Get Loud for the short.
Yeah, and then he did like like the Elvis version or something. I liked it personally. I thought it was fine. Just bring both those programs back. Like, we already saw the Schindler's List. It's not as special as Jason's was and will be when he gets back, you know, in like peak shape. I don't know why they're wasting time on this, because we know it's going to happen. We know they're going to change it back probably after like the Grand Prix final or something, and I just don't understand why we're wasting time keeping this program and changing shorts.
So I think what happened is he skated the Nutcracker at, I want to say St. Petersburg Open or something, like some kind of
it was in like a
open
mall
skates type thing.
Yeah.
And frankly, it was not good. It was very empty, but I think the negative reaction to that probably spooked them a little bit, and that's why they went to Caruso. But I think they should have stuck with it. I think they should have stuck with Nutcracker and seen how it panned out. I mean, I don't know, maybe there were people at those skates, like from Russian Federation, who said that, you know, this is not looking good, you need to change it up, or maybe they just personally felt that they need to change it, and the feedback actually had nothing to do with it. I don't know. But I mean, I guess the other possibility is they brought in Caruso because they wanted to go back to Nureyev and they didn't want to do 2 ballet programs. But then in that case, he's now getting another short anyway, which, do we know what it is, or is it a possibility that he's returning to Nutcracker?
I am going to be honest, I didn't read the article. I just clicked translate the Twitter headline from like figureskating.ru, whatever. And I was like, oh God, he changed it again. So I don't know if someone wants to pull it up. I don't know. For all we know, he could have gone back to Nutcracker. But yeah, there's just, it just kind of makes me wonder what Mishan's thought processes for this, because you have a skater like Misha who is very prone to getting in his head and making mistakes. And so I just wonder, you know, the toll it's taking on him in training when we keep changing the programs, because he doesn't have it seems like he hasn't had a chance yet to get comfortable with the program, because they keep changing the music, so they keep changing his interpretation, they're probably changing the core, you know, obviously they're changing the choreography, they're, you know, he's probably moving his, you know, his elements around. He doesn't have a solid layout for the programs, and I'm kind of like, is this the best thing for him right now? I don't know, especially when there are, you know, there's other Russian men who are showing that, you know, they're improving, they're moving up the ranks. So yeah. I don't know, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, Mark is definitely getting the vote of confidence right now, I think, between being sent to Nebelhorn after Dima had to withdraw, and getting the host spot for Ross Telecom. So
yeah, doing
We'll
see how that works
Nebelhorn is never not a bad thing, especially with Olympic spots on the line.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he got the spot, he got the bronze medal. This was his first major senior international outing. So if he can keep it up.
I think it was really brave of USFSA to send Vincent to reclaim the spot he lost.
So I have a question, and I was thinking about this. I thought that, like, I don't know why, but when I like hit the video and was watching it, I was like, wait a minute, how is he even here? Because I thought that because he went to Worlds, that even though he didn't qualify those 2 spots, technically that he couldn't be sent.
No, as long as you didn't make the free skate, you can go again. It's the same reason Alexia was able to come to Nebelhorn.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, realistically, who else were they going to send? Like, they can't send Jason because he's recovering from like his injury. They're not.
Wasn't he also at Worlds in the free?
Yeah. So they couldn't send Jason regardless. I mean, I don't think they clearly don't feel comfortable sending Yarrow. Like,
Tomoki's not on the table. Camden's not on the table.
Yeah, we're not sending Tomoki. We're not sending Camden. We're not sending Tordshed.
I'm saying is Tomoki would have been like the entire, like, I think Tomoki would have been their best option if Vincent had made the free skate. Like, if he had been like the last person to make the free skate, I think they would have been like, okay, we have to send Tomoki. I think he would have done all right.
I think Tomoki would have gotten the spot. I think it might have been a little bit of a nail biter like it was for Roman. Because he has great elements, has the tech content, he just can't deliver it all at once.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll have to see what happens next. But also shout out to Sasha Trusova this week, competed again in Russia. She did the short program. She's really trying to land that triple axel in competition before the fall starts. What did you guys think of her performance in the short?
I didn't watch it. I couldn't. I was too upset with her. She has been traveling so much in the past few weeks, and the triple axel is already a mental block for her. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, you know my pet theory, which is that Terry has set some sort of ultimatum for her that you have to land the triple axel before the Grand Prix or you were taking it out of your layout. That's just me speculating. I have, no evidence to back that up. But to me, that explains why she can do the Russian Cup short program and then withdraw from the free. She just wants to land the triple axel in competition.
I agree.
Yeah, I've talked about this a lot, but like, I am extremely mystified by her even putting the triple axel in the program, because we know that the Sambo 70 girls, in order to put a jump or even a combination in their program, they need to land it like an insane amount of times, and they like keep track of how many times they land it. So I am like I'm wondering if they're maybe like letting her get away with like not landing it with as high of a percentage, because
I think she's landing it. That's the thing. I think she is landing it in practice. She lands it in warm-ups. She lands it in official practices. It's only in competition that she's not landing it. So I truly think whatever that percentage is, she's hitting it.
I agree. I think she's landing it in practice too. We've seen the footage. We know she can land the triple axel. It's the matter of her mentally being able to feel confident that she can do it in competition.
Yeah.
So I'm happy she didn't do the free though, because I don't think with all the traveling she's been doing, I think it would have been a flop fest, and she doesn't need to risk injury right now for some stage 1 of the Russian Cup in Serjan, or I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Like, she's not slated to do anything else, is she, before Skate America?
She better not.
Are you going to Finlandia?
No, because Aliana's going there.
Is Valieva going also to Finlandia? I thought she was.
I think she is.
Probably.
Yeah, she's going. Yeah, I don't think Sasha's going to Finlandia.
She's definitely not. Yeah.
Finlandia is low-key smart move. It's so close to Moscow.
And it's so interesting because across the board, the Finlandia lineup feels like an Olympic test event. Like the fields, each discipline, it feels so stacked. So that's going to be even more exciting than Nebelhorn was to watch.
Yeah, although honestly, I am a little bit glad that Boykova Kozlovsky had to withdraw.
Oh, I am too.
I could not have started the season with them losing to Machina Galyamov.
I agree. I think it worked out for the best that they're not.
Thank you, U.S. Embassy, I guess, for scheduling their visa appointment around Finlandia.
Yeah, thank you. We didn't need to see that, but yeah.
State Department is our bestie.
Now hurry up and give Christina Carrera her citizenship.
Yes.
Get on. Yeah, but we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Finlandia is coming up. French Masters are coming up. Papadakis and Cicerone are going to announce their free dance music tomorrow.
Okay, wait. Do we think? Okay, wait. I need to talk about this. If it's not the tango, what do you guys think it's going to be?
I don't have no clue.
I don't even know. We heard a couple different we heard that they were considering a couple different music selections. We have no idea what they've decided on. I kind of wish that they would maybe do Patrick Wilson again, but maybe another Patrick Wilson song with an interlude of To Build a Home, kind of like when the Shibs did Paradise, but they had a little interlude of Coldplay in there. I kind of wish they would do something like that, just because I do believe that is their best program. And if they're going to win the Olympics, I want to see them win the Olympics with something that matches the caliber and the quality of To Build a Home.
An Olympic moment.
It's that Patrick Watson song. What is it? Broken, that Ziegler and Kiefer skated to.
I was just thinking that in my head, but I was like, I don't know that the lyrics, if that's what they want their Olympic free skate to, but I love that song.
That song just builds so well.
Yeah. It's been in my playlist since before Ziegler and Kiefer skated to it. So when they skated to it, I was like, you have good taste. But yeah, we're going to see, I know that Guillaume in his playlists, back last year during the COVID season, before he locked his playlist, on Spotify, he had a lot of different versions of Ave Maria in his free dance 2020 playlist. So I don't know if that's something that they considered going back to. We heard that they might have been considering something more on the classical side, but we don't know. We're going to know tomorrow. But I genuinely hope that they have a really beautiful program, because they've been a top team for so long, and if they're going to win the Olympics, I want to enjoy their programs. And I hope the rhythm dance is good. I really do. So everyone who thinks that I want Nikita and Victoria to win more, I want whoever has the better programs to win. And Gabby and Guillaume definitely, they deserve a win.
We can be impartial, guys. I know some of you think that we can't be impartial. We can actually be impartial and say that the person who skated the best deserves to win.
Yeah.
Shocking, but true.
Yeah. I mean, I think people just come in with a really hard bias against Nikita for very good reason.
Yes.
He sucks. But in the lead up to Worlds, we had people who understand figure skating, very intelligent former skaters, saying there is no world in which Sinitsina Katsalapov wins Worlds. And we were all just sitting here I don't know what you mean. I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding just because Papadakis and Cicerone have been dominating doesn't mean they will keep dominating if they don't deserve to, with the momentum also, that Nikita have built.
2020 happened.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Everybody loves to say that was just Russian meddling. It wasn't. Gabby made a major mistake, and they were, they suffered.
And guess what? At the end of the day, they didn't even invalidate the 1 foot step sequence like they should have. Yeah. They didn't invalidate it. So they lost. They barely lost. Victoria and Nikita won Europeans 2020 by the skin of their teeth. I think, and this is, I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox rant right now, but I think that one thing that annoys me sometimes about figure skating fans, and I know we can all be guilty of it at points, is that there's a lot of terrible people in this sport. There are a lot of terrible people in this sport who have hurt other people, who have abused children, who have done horrible things to other skaters, in every single discipline. But sometimes a lot of those horrible people are very talented as well, and they win things. And I think you do a disservice to say, well, just because someone is terrible is a bad person, that means that they shouldn't have won the things that they've won. I've seen a lot of people be like, and with what's happened with Aliona in the last few months, and this is why she shouldn't have won the Olympics.
Sway Han,
right?
Sway Han 2020. 2018 Olympic champions.
Yeah, like, okay, like Aliona is Aliona, and she's done a lot of really shitty things, and I think people are totally entitled to feel how they feel about her, but I'm like, she had the fucking skate of her life in Pyeongchang, and Sui and Han did not. They made mistakes, and you know, she was injured and it wasn't their night. At the end of the day, you know, it doesn't mean that Aliona didn't deserve to win just because we think she's a terrible person.
Also,
and you know,
like, judges don't think the same way we do.
They don't care about what you're doing off the ice.
Care.
Well, also,
So, like,
I think people think of deserves to win as like a moral thing. There's a difference between morally this person deserves good things in life and technically this person deserved to win. And I think people confuse that. You know, a lot of times I say Papadakis and Cicerone would deserve it if they lost, because they would, because they, you know, they don't enjoy competing. They enjoy performing and they enjoy skating, but you have to compete. You have to work for it. You have to put in the effort.
Yeah, this is
can't
a sport.
Just be handed gold medal after gold medal after gold medal and nobody's ever going to surpass you. So when I say, you know, it would be deserved if they lost the Olympics, that doesn't mean I want Nikita to win the Olympics. It means that they need to get their butts in gear so that that doesn't happen. It, you know, like, people need to understand the nuance of things people say.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, you know, when we say that Victoria and Nikita deserve to win worlds, it's not because we like Nikita. It's not because we think that morally he deserves to win. It's because technically he and Victoria were the best team at that competition. They skated the best. They had the highest skill level. And at the end of the day, this is a sport. From a sporting perspective, they deserve to win. And that's all that, you know, we're saying when we say that, you know, on this particular day, Victoria and Nikita deserve to win. And on this particular day, like, Gabby and Guillaume deserve to win. And, you know, I just think in general, like you said, the nuances get lost. This is a sport at the end of the day, and the team, you know, the skaters who skate the best should win.
Yeah.
Period. Even if I don't like them, even if I think they're terrible, you know, it is what it is.
Personally, I will still say my favorites were robbed, but know that I understand that they actually weren't.
Yeah. For sure. So
LJ is just built different.
Yeah. Y'all
Alrighty. Well, I think it's time to wrap this up. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you to Sarah and LJ for joining us tonight talking about this weekend. I hope you all had fun. Everyone be very, very nice. If you want to say mean things, say them to me, because don't say to them. They took time out of their day, came with notes. They were so prepared. You guys did amazing. Thank you so much for, you know, stepping in. It's so nice to chat with you guys and not over Twitter DMs.
Yeah. And we shout out to Neela. We miss you. We hope you're getting well acclimated in Prague and having a
hope you're
time.
living your best life in Europe.
She went clubbing out tonight. I saw. So she is living it.
Yeah.
I wish I was
go.
clubbing I was clubbing in Europe right now. Yes. I'm not. I have to go do homework after this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bye everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.